lights are burning low as you look out on this morning.
So, somebody has said marriage is not just spiritual communion, it's also remembering to take out the rubbish. Pat and Michael, we thank you for the many ordinary and extraordinary ways in which you have touched so many people's lives, these lives and so many others as well. How you have mothered and fathered so many of us. And to speak on behalf of the many, here's Brian Clear.
Thanks very much, Chair. I suppose I'm just here to say a few words on behalf of all the nieces and nephews. Just to say thanks to Pat and Michael for their unparalleled generosity over the years. I know from a young lad, myself and my brother John, after a week at school, we used to pack up our bags on a Friday evening and head over to Riverside Drive, our kind of safe haven, I suppose, away from the pub, while John and Phil used to work very hard. And the usual routine would happen on a weekend. We'd be out in the garden playing with Bud or Sandy, depending on the dog at the time, and coffee and, well, tea for us and Coke or whatever in the design centre. And then, of course, Sunday, my favourite part of the weekend was Mass. That's straight for you, Father Jim. And one particular Sunday, it was during the summer, I was a young chap in my short trousers. And at that time, for some reason, it must have been an offer on in Dunn's at the time, because the only pairs of socks I had were either bright red or bright green. And Pat, the fashionista that she is, I decided on that particular Sunday that I was going to go to Mass wearing odd socks, one bright red and one bright green, with my short trousers. And Pat tried to reason with me at the time and was like, no, come on, you can't go to Mass in front of my peers, in front of God, wearing odd socks. That's not the 90s. And I was like, having none of it. No, I'm wearing these odd socks. Not going to do anything about it. So there I was, waiting at the door to walk out the door to Mass, and I hear Pat scream from the top of the landing, Brian! Brian! If you're going to go to Mass without socks, then I'm going to go to Mass like this. And she came walking down the stairs with her shoelaces tied, her bag in tow, in her swimsuit. And needless to say, I went up and wore 2 red socks. In around the same time, I used to, I was about 8 at the time, and I used to, well, I considered myself Michael's apprentice. He used to do a lot of work over in the pub for John and Phil, and so he'd be pottering away and I'd be hammering at something, thinking I was doing something to help the job that was being done. And I think Mike, appreciated my work, well, what I considered work at the time. And he actually mentioned that the work of an 8-year-old at the time was akin to some of his fellow REL colleagues. And anyway, this in his subconscious, in his subconscious, he must have thought that he was still working with, must have been Pat Ryan or someone like that. And I tripped over and knocked over a box of screws. And of course, Michael turned around, Brian, for fuck's sake, what the fuck do you think you're doing? Fucking kicking over the fucking box of screws all fucking over the fucking thing. And at that moment, the waterworks had already started from the first fuck. And I never heard so many times in the one sentence the 4-letter word. And that was the end of our partnership. So forward on to about 17 years on from there. Just this time last year, actually, I found myself in a place called Darlington. It's in North East England. I'd finished college, been working for about a year or so, and I don't know if many know Darlington, but probably the best way to describe it would be a Thai County Kildare on acid. I was going to mention Castlecomer, but apparently there's a few hundred wheelies here. So anyway, I was in this dead-end place in a dead-end job, finding myself in a quarter-life crisis at the age of 25. And one weekend anyway, I was flying home, or I was due to fly back to Darlington, and I said, enough is enough. I was actually on the plane, the doors had closed. That's how dramatic it was. I got up and said, listen, I'm not flying today. I got off, ran home to Mommy and Daddy, had a good cry, and for the summer then, Shortle Independent Traders took up business again, and myself and Mikey went about Kilkenny doing any handy jobs that needed doing, and anything that didn't need doing we ended up doing anyway. And it was over those few months, just last summer, that I really realised that, you know, Pat and Michael, I know they were there from when I was a very young age growing up, but they're now what I consider very close friends. I don't consider them an uncle and an aunt. I consider them, like, Riverside Drive has always been a home from home, and a safe haven that any nieces and nephews who've needed support or looked for an open ear or anything, they've gone there, and it's always been there. And one thing that I realised, if I'm to coin a phrase myself, it's not very that insightful, but as I've gotten older, and as young as I am, relative to the audience, obviously, as I've gotten older, I've realised that you don't actually get that much older. And I don't know whether that's because Pat and Michael are very young at heart, but just from being with them over the summer months of last year, I've just really gotten very close to them, and I'm looking forward to the rest of their lives and my lives, of them being in it. So just again, I just want to pay tribute again to Pat and Michael, because they've been superb on to Uncle for the whole of my 25 years on this earth, and hopefully for the rest of it. So cheers again to Pat and Michael, and thanks again.
Well done. Thank you, Brian. Thank you very much. Speaking on behalf of nieces and nephews, and I was worried about saying feckin'. Thank you, Brian, for making me realise you need to worry about saying feckin'. It's very good. Anyway, as well as those of us who are here this evening,